Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be looking at my whole week of training. In the past videos I talked a little bit about the theory, but today I'll let you guys see what I'm actually doing. You can try to copy me, but it may not be the best idea because my training is built around theory, but also with a mix of my anecdotal experience, and that is specific for me, right? So take it with a grain of salt and hopefully the video will be kind of useful. First day of the week, Monday, I train rings and front lever. Currently, I am training for a 1 gelder and 5+ no momentum front lever pull-ups. That's why Mondays I start with the highest priority movement, which is Maltese press to planche. I find this movement more delicate than the lower part, if that makes sense, so I want to focus on it and get a few bodyweight reps clean. Right now I can do one clean bodyweight rep, but my training is still with a light band because that makes me able to do more clean volume. At least that's how I unlock the skill, and that's how I'll keep on improving it. You don't have to change many things once you actually get the skill. You can keep doing the same stuff you did, right? It obviously works. Right now I am doing cluster sets of doubles. I do one rep, I rest for 30 seconds, and then I do the second rep. I do this because singles are too easy and doubles still a little bit too hard to do for decent volume. For back of sets, I do 1 to 2 sets of deep Maltese holds. These are not max holds, I'm just trying to work on the basics. Then after Maltese work, I do the cross work. Maltese comes before the cross because it is a priority. For cross, I do 2 sets of 2 light banded pulls. That's all I do. This is just a volume for maintenance or a very slow progress because I have pretty much done the same sets and reps for months, to be honest. The reason is that I don't really care much about it. In the future I would like to work on balandin, but not yet because it fucks up my shoulders and I would want to keep them healthy for freestyle work for now. And also I'm probably allocating more recovery ability towards planche and Maltese, which use similar muscle groups. After the main work, I do just one set of handstand push-ups to 1 RAR. I do this not because I have to, not because it makes my planche better. I do this because it's a very objective measure of strength, especially useful when you are under a cut and you wanna see if you are maintaining your strength and muscle mass. If reps stay the same, it means you are doing well. If they are coming down, you may be getting better at planche seemingly, but you're also probably losing muscle and not doing the best work. There's just one use for this, but it's also useful in other ways. If reps are staying the same or slowly increasing, it can only mean one thing in my case, and that is that I have added more myofibrils, yes, myofibrils, I don't know what it means either, to my front delts, and that is never a bad thing. More muscle in the delts is never bad for planche and Maltese and cross and all of those movements. You need them to be strong. So that's what I do it. I prefer to do it. Day 2 is a rest day. Day 3, Wednesday, I am doing, or actually we are doing, since I'm always training with my friend in his backyard. That's the only reason we are friends, by the way. Day 3 is for freestyle, planche and front lever. Freestyle is kind of low-key because I don't really do it much. I hate it. I'm not good at it. So I put it to the side. I always start with top sets of statics because it is a priority for me. I care more about strength than pretty much anything else, even my family. Currently, my top set progression for the front lever pull-ups is triples with roughly 1 rep in reserve. I always skip some margin, you're gonna notice that. Probably gonna keep doing triples until I reach 5x3 or something like that. For planche, I kinda do what I feel like, so I don't have a super specific plan. I have a general idea of what I'm doing, so I'm trying to improve my volume because I wanna be doing a little bit better on the competitions. I'm very strong, but not much endurance, not many combos, unfortunately, because I don't do it, which is why I am working on a clean 3-3-3. I can already do a 3-3-3, but not to my standards, not perfect. I wasn't really happy with the form this day. My legs seem to be a little bit too low, but it's okay. We have time to correct it. I have only been training for 7 years, so always time to correct it. After these sets, I'm working on some freestyle. I love freestyle, but I can't really practice it much because when you are 80 kgs heavy, 5 sets on the bar and my calluses are tear open. Did some 360s, X360 attempts, trying to relearn the ginger a little bit. Did around 5 sets and then my callus has broke. This is Wednesday, by the way. This happened just a few hours ago. So after the usual unsuccessful freestyle session, for backoff sets, I did 5 sets of 4 one-leg pull-ups with some reps in reserve. So pretty decent volume, 20 reps, not bad. For planche, I did 4 sets of XXX with a light or medium band actually, and I realized that I'm struggling the most with the transition from push-up to press, so I will definitely work a little bit more on that, as well as working on keeping my legs a little bit higher in the press negative. Then I usually like to finish with some weighted pull-ups for sets of 3 to 5, but I did not have weight here or a belt, so instead I did some bodyweight rows and a little planche at the end. Day 4 is also a rest day. Day 5 is solo training at home as usual, and it's for rings and front lever again. So similar to day 1, sorry. When it comes to the front lever, I do 6 to 10 sets of greasing the groove. Usually I split it up in around 3 to 5 sets. I do 1 set of hold or pulls with ankle weights to sort of prime my nervous system, and then I do 1 set of either pull-ups or a touch, so my main priority, followed by a couple hours of rest when I repeat it again. And this is, by the way, the same thing I did on day 1, although I did not record anything and I didn't even mention it, so I'm just kind of filling it up now. When it comes to rings, on Friday I am working on the lower part of the Van Gelder, which is from back lever to Maltese. I try to do it from a dead stop in order to, so to say, minimize the stretch reflex of the band, so it doesn't assist me any more than it should. I did 5 sets of singles with a light band, same assistance I'm using for top range of motion. After that, I did again 1 set of deep hold for some extra volume. After the Malteses, sometimes, not always, I do some cross work. It depends on how my shoulders feel from Wednesday, but since my callus broke early, my shoulders were pretty good, so I decided to go for a couple of sets. Why not? Then after the priority work, skill work, again I'm doing 1 set of weighted handstand push-ups. This day I got 12 reps, which was 1 more rep compared to day 1, which always feels good. Progressive overload is always welcome. The only issue now is that I can hardly overload from here, since I don't really like doing sets of anything about 12 reps because of fatigue related to calcium ion buildup, which just prevents you from using your fastest twitch muscle fibers, right, and the biggest motor unit. And that's pretty much it for day 5. Moving on to day 6, the last day of the training week. Usually day 6 is reserved for more emphasis on freestyle and less on statics, but still some statics. Usually I am again training with my dear friend at this beautiful Slovenian gym with the other super cool and strong Slovenian guys, but unfortunately Boris was not in town and I don't have a driver's license. I lost my driver's license, so I cannot go anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't drive even if I had it, so it doesn't really make a difference. I still did some statics. Didn't really go well. I was training early in the morning and was fasted for 14 hours. First set of planche felt super light and that gave me hope for the training, but everything crashed after that set. Did some push-ups off the floor, although I should probably focus more on volume and not single skills, but yeah. I decided to do more basic work. Did some sets of 3 for the front lever pulls or raises. Did around, I think, 4 sets. And also some planche combos with light bands and then medium bands once I crashed even more. For the end, I did one set of this exercise, which I guess it's called cable row. I did maybe 8 to 10 reps with 60 kilograms attached. And yeah guys, that was my whole week of training, pretty much. Important note before ending the video is that even on my rest days, which are Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, which is 3 days total, I still may do some grease in the groove depending on how I feel that day. So I leave it totally to my feeling. I'm talking maybe couple of sets, I do not overdo it, I do not go to failure or anything like that. But still, I try to leave at least one day of the week at least where I do not do anything. Usually that's on Sunday. I do it not so much for the physical reasons, but more psychological. 1 planche, 2 planches won't fatigue you, especially if you do it with maybe assistance. If it's super easy for you, you are still training the movement, working on technique and not fatiguing yourself. It can even add to your recovery. However, for the psychological reasons, I do not want to associate with calisthenics for at least 1 day of the week to basically keep myself more motivated. Once you abstain from something, you immediately are going to miss it more later. So that's the psychology of it, right? If that was a good explanation. Alright, I think I said everything that needed to be said. I hope the video was interesting and maybe useful for some of you to consider in your own training. And yeah, thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you soon.